worry. I'll James Dowd himself.
Oh. Terror story tiki mask.
Okay, it's the TeamEmmsie Streamer of the Week podcast, and as agreed upon, the three of us are going to do something real quick to start it out. Ah! Okay, so that's out of the. Whew. Okay, we got that out of our systems. Thank you very much. Big thanks to Revolving Potato for being the first one in today, right as we went live. You're awesome. I am host Rev. You can find me at twitch.tv DoseRev, joined by fellow co-host, the always awesome Mike, twitch.tv/Sir Mike Knight, and today we are talking to the amazing Streamer of the Week, TeamEmmsie Streamer of the Week, Lady Ravenwood, who you can find at twitch.tv Lady Ravenwood. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Did it take a lot out of you to do that? Because did you do it all in one breath? Because afterwards it was...
Well, we're all members of the Vape Nation here, and I did smoke for many, many years, and I've noticed actually my lung capacity has gotten a lot better over the last 3 years since switching to the vape. So,
oh man, you should try running. Really opens up the lungs, man.
You know, that sounds like work though. This is easy.
Oh yeah, it's work. It's a lot of work. I smoked for since I was 10. My mother gave me the mistake of giving my first cigarette, and I smoked 3 packs a day up until 4 years ago or so, when I switched over to vaping. Yeah. But I'm perfectly fine now. I can run, but I was dripping for a little while. But I prefer tank now, because red lights were my savior when I was dripping, when I was driving. I had to stop and drip it, and then switch back to a tank.
Yeah, it gets to be a pain in the ass when you're streaming too, and you have to change your coil and then make the coil.
Hold on.
You know, you're sitting there on stream. Okay, I'll get to the game in a second. Hold on, just hold on. And it becomes like a class on how to build a freaking coil.
Yeah, you turn and you make ribbon Claptons, and you make twisteds and braids. And,
right. And it does taste better. In my opinion, dripping does taste better, but the convenience, gotta go with the tank.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the flavor of vaping, but you get a lot more flavor and clouds from dripping than you do a tank. However, it's a lot more convenient. I prefer a tank.
Mm-hmm.
I use a rebuildable drip tank assembly, which I can drip on easily if I want to, and but it also has a tank where the wicks go down into it. So this is the TeamEmmsie Streamer of the Week vape podcast, where we talk about the vape. No, it's fine. It's fine. I told Lady right before we went live, though, I said, this is your show. If you want to spend the next hour talking about vaping...
we don't have to talk about vape for a whole hour.
This wasn't a part of the questionnaire, but I know you actually used to run a vape shop, actually.
Oh, yes, I did. We had a vape shop in Myrtle Beach. We were there. We were the first ones to get shut down by the FDA when all of that craze was going on. Because we mixed all of our juices by hand. We didn't buy any. We mixed them all right for the customer, customized flavors, and then it was supposed to be $500,000 per flavor, per nicotine level, which there's a million of them, and that's so much money. We just couldn't do it. So we were shut down, and well, here I am.
Yep.
It is, and you and I have had little discussions about the damn government.
Yeah, I mean here in Maine, we can't even order online.
Are you serious? Really?
Can't. Nope. Can't do it.
That's awful.
Yeah, after all those FDA regs came down and all the little stores shut down and all the prices on everything else went through the roof, I learned I had to start mixing my own and buying juice supplies liters at a time.
Oh yeah, we got gallons of PG and VG. We just never had the little bit of extra cash to get the flavorings for it and mixing it. Because we used to make clones, and my favorite juice at the time was Lunar Harvest Black, and it was grape soda, sweet tart,
gummy bears.
Some sort of gummy bears, icy something other, menthol-y I think would be good in it, like Reb suggested. But I loved it, and that was my favorite. We vaped it forever. We just didn't have the money to get any more flavorings. Well, so
see,
I switched.
I remember that recipe you told me. I'm remembering that.
It because it's really good.
I don't really have a problem as far as the price goes. I mean, I get this giant bottle for $25.
Oh wow.
And that'll last me 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, compare it to smoking.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because
cigarette prices in here.
My sidekick James, we were smoking for a little while, and then I would go through a pack a day. He would go through a pack a day. So we eventually ended up spending like $10 just a day just to go get cigarettes when I can spend, $40, $50 and get 200 mils, and that lasts both of us for 2 weeks.
Well, as I said, I buy my supplies 2 liters at a time, and I, So.
Hey, it's cheaper and it tastes better, and you can make what you want.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, as I said, I started doing it to quit smoking, and I've been dialing back the nicotine. I'm down to like under 3 milligrams nicotine, so.
Yeah,
but
it's always good.
You know what? I would hate to think that we're boring the non-vape crowd. I mean, I know there's at least a couple people in here that aren't vapors, so maybe we'll get into it. So. As I mentioned, twitch.tv/lady_Ravenwood. Please check her out. I had a ton of fun watching her this week whenever I could. She and her sidekick? Should I air quote that? Sidekick James. We're playing a lot of board games. You were running a Kickstarter for a brand new game. It's like Dungeons and Dragons for kids, kind of. You want to talk about that a little?
Yeah, sure. We're doing Dice in Danger. It's basically, it's like an introduction into the Dungeons and Dragons world, where you roll a dice. It's very simple. Introduce children to a D10. We've got a couple of reviews so far. So far, a lot of people like it, and we're hoping that that'll translate into some money to help us get this started, because we love it. I love it, and I am 20, so I'm pretty much still a child, but I'm an adult, so I could play that like all day long.
And I don't know if you or James has a link to the Kickstarter, but if you wanted to go ahead and throw it in chat, maybe there might be someone else out there.
I have a link to the Kickstarter. Throw it in chat. Rev wants you to throw it in chat for me.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's gonna throw it in chat. He's in the fridge at the moment.
And sidekicks. They're never around when you need them. It's like,
right?
Why don't you should James? Oh, James.
Yes. James, can you do my work for me? Thank you. Rev started it. Hey, don't look at me.
James is gonna hate me so soon.
But
he
wants to start that the Twitch channel says Rev is wrong.
That's fair.
And he's gonna.
That's fair. And you're relatively new to streaming.
Yes, I am. I've only been streaming for about a month. You should go back and look at my old ones, because we've come a long way in such a short time. Because they were bad, really, really bad.
I think we all started off really, really bad. Yeah. I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys, but I started off on Xbox.
Really?
Streaming through Xbox. This is back before Mixer. Streaming through Xbox and my Kinect.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think we try to do video games every now and then, but my computer is just too old, and it's not sending the data fast enough to keep up the stream and make it not choppy. So we have to get up the money to get a new PC. But I do want to do video games, because I was a huge video gamer when I was younger. I loved it. That's all I would ever do. I lost like 3 days to Skyrim alone.
Well, Skyrim is the game that never ends. I think I personally started about 5 different games, and I've never beaten Skyrim. I'm always like, ooh, Dark Brotherhood, ooh, side quest, ooh. And then,
oh yeah, I've gone through the whole main line, but I've done a lot of the side quests. The whole Dark Brotherhood line I've done the Thieves Guild, done all of that. I went through, I don't quite remember what their name is, but I do know they're in Whiterun. They're behind the tavern where the werewolves and all that stuff. Went through all of that, all of it. I've just got like these itty-bitty little side quests left. And I got to Legendary. I got to everything was Legendary level. Then I let my friend borrow my PS3 that I had at the time. And he's like, well, hey, can I start a new game? I was like, that's fine. So delete all the other ones except for the top save, because that one's mine. Don't delete it. Well, guess what? He deleted it. And I could not go back to it ever since. I was so mad.
Yeah, Felix Hergood mentions what the group you're looking for is the Companions.
The Companions, yes.
Who are the Companions?
I can't play games like that, like Skyrim. I just too much freedom.
I'm offended.
I can't have that much freedom. I can't.
Why?
Because I do stupid shit.
That's the point. Do stupid shit.
I just go and just start fighting with everyone. Fuck it. Do it. I started playing Fallout 4.
I love Fallout
3.
4.
Fallout 3, when Fallout 3 first came out, and I got to the first town, and I just killed everyone. just fucking went through and killed everyone, and then went, okay, how do I reset them now?
You do not.
Yeah.
They're all
You
dead.
messed
I was
up.
supposed to do something in there. I wasn't supposed to kill that guy. I just can't have that much freedom. I just kill everyone. Say fuck it, just kill everyone.
That's exactly why I've started 5 different games of Skyrim and never beaten it, because I'm like a...
You gotta pay attention to the details. You
shiny.
gotta pick up on these little itty bitty things.
And
if
then
you
I
don't,
go, I
shit.
really need that gold. Should I steal this?
Yes, you
Like-
should. Always. Always
Like,
steal it. It's
fuck,
fine.
I got caught. Run!
Run! But don't kill a chicken. Do not kill a chicken.
I know personally, one of the things I thought to myself is, I wonder if I'm strong enough to kill every single person in the Mages Guild in Northold.
Don't do that. Don't do that. How
So,
will that work out for
I did it, because Sneak plus Archery is OP as you know what.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'm sneaking, you can't see me.
I love it when you sneak and you're not moving because your sneak is so high. Even though they're right in front of you looking at you, they don't see you at all. So you just kind of hit them in the face and they're dead. It's great.
Indeed. But, so, only a month streaming, and you've been doing so well. You've been killing it. Let me put it this way. When I tune in a couple times, I'm like, well, she's got as many viewers as me, and I've been doing this since December, so she's okay. And I want to ask you a question here. So I'm going to skip down one or two, if that's okay with you, Mike.
Yeah.
I went and had to look this up, because when we asked what your favorite game was, you gave 2 answers. So the video game was Skyrim, which we just talked about. But then you also mentioned a tabletop favorite, Legendary Clank. And I went and looked it up, and I'm like, oh, great, here's another game I'm going to have to buy. You want to tell us a little bit about Legendary Clank?
Well, Legendary is one of them. The other one is Clank. I couldn't figure out which one I like more. Legendary, I'm still fairly new to, but the one we have, we played several times. I think we played at the very beginning of the 26-hour stream, and I think we may have played it one other time on an earlier stream. But I love it. It's a lot like Clank. It's a deck building game. But with Clank, it's pretty much you need to get in, get your shit, and get out. So you have these little bag of cubes, which are your health, that go into the dragon bag. So when you piss off a dragon, well, damn. So you gotta go in that bag and pull out, and if you have to get in and get as much stuff as you can and get out before the dragon comes in and kills you. It's a very fast-paced deck building
Like a
game.
wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, pretty much. But Legendary, it's a very big deck builder game. We have the Trouble in Little China version of it. And it's pretty much like that. There's no dice, there's no little pieces, it's just cards, and it came with a playmat. And I've played it just a couple of times, but I love it, because I love deck builders.
I feel you.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I was bigger into video games. I was introduced to tabletop not too long ago. I'm going to say within the last year, I was introduced into tabletop, and that was with Torchbearer is what I got introduced into. And that was was that Dungeons & Dragons based, Mr. Sidekick? Sidekick. Was Torchbearer Dungeon & Dragons based?
Sidekick! Oh, James! Pay attention, James!
It's what? Dungeons & Dragons on hard mode is what Torchbearer was.
I'm gonna just write that down. Hang on a second here. I need a pencil. Torchbearer?
Torchbearer. Torchbearer.
Wrote it down on an old receipt, because that's how I roll. You know, I have to be honest. You may have been getting a strange look. You can see the look on Mike's face right now, right? You can see the look on Mike's face, and I think he muted his mic because you heard the sound of rug midgets in the background.
Rug midgets. Oh.
And
that's awful.
I don't know, whatever you want to call them. And I'm an older gentleman, as you know. I will say I really got hung up on the fact that you kept saying you've got to pull out.
Yeah, I caught that too. Yeah.
Oh god.
I was
My
Really?
pull-out game's weak.
yeah. Yeah, you're talking to two guys who would suck at that game, is what I'm saying.
Hey, it's fun. I love it.
Why are you doing this to me? Bad thoughts. Yes.
I
Okay.
killed Rev.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Okay.
No, wait. No, he's fine. Whew.
All right. Okay, we're going to take those thoughts and just...
Hey, you lobbed it over the plate. She just...
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really. Really. Oh, my God. Okay, so... I feel like we have to go through some of these questions because it's just going to devolve into just random chaos sooner rather than later. So if we get through as much of this
Nothing
as possible...
wrong with random chaos.
Random chaos is my life.
Looking forward to Assassin's Creed. Yeah, that's always a popular one, video game wise. I never played the Assassin's Creed games, I'm going to be honest.
See, I didn't get really interested in them until I started playing Thief. And my sidekick had downloaded Thief, and he had it forever. And he's like, well, I don't like that game. You don't really kill a lot of people. You just sneak around. I'm like, okay, well, I always play a Thief. In Torchbearer, I played a Thief and a Rogue. Every time, I always play some sort of Thief or a Rogue, because that's what I do. So I was like, okay, well, let me try this out. And I ended up loving it. He's like, well, if you love this, you'll like Assassin's Creed, but play Black Flag first, because it's pirates, and you like pirates. So I got into it, and I was like, this is really boring for the first, 10 minutes of the game. But then I got to Havana, and I loved it. And I played it like 3 times straight. Like, I didn't play anything else. I loved it. And then I started playing Assassin's Creed Unity, and I loved it. And then I didn't get, like, most of the way through until I found out about Origins. So then I just stopped, and now I have to wait on Origins.
How about you, Mike? Did you ever play any of the Assassin's Creed games?
I have. I played a lot of them. The only one I've ever finished is Black Flag. That's the only one that I've ever actually finished. I sat down an entire day and I just banged it all out one day.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love the naval battles about it, and I love the fact that I got to hear like the backstory behind Kenway, which is the main character. I loved Blackbeard and James Kidd and all of it. I mean, I loved it.
Sorry, I just had to type something in chat there. Because if I type it in chat, then I can get it out of my head. And then it's done. Yeah, I never played the Assassin's Creed games, but I played the original Thief. I'm guessing when you mentioned that you played Thief, it wasn't the original one that I played on my friend's 386 SX, which was like a modified version of Doom, basically. Or maybe it was Unreal Tournament.
I ended up playing the third one. Even though the title just said Thief, and then I went back and saw there was a 1, a 2, and a 3. So I'm not really sure which one I played, but I'm pretty sure it's the third one.
So, Alley Cat Girl says, I just bought a few Assassin's Creed games for my Xbox 360 and started playing. Needless to say, I'm stuck. Any advice, Lady, Rev, Mike? I'll just go first and say I am hashtag PC Master Race all the way. So, I'm going to just...
I wish I was on my PC so I could clip that comment by Mike. Which comment was that? Oh, banged it all out? Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Got it.
Well, which one is Alley Cat? Which one are you playing? Because I can't see the chat. I have 2 screens. One of them is Skype pulled up, and the other one is the questionnaire.
Well, if she does answer, I'll respond.
No worries.
To you. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. The best advice I can give for those Assassin's Creed games. What you want to do, okay, is you want to be sneaky, and then you want to stab people with your stabby blade.
Just
Boom.
Stab blade, the hidden blades.
Pro tip right there.
Hashtag pro tip.
The thing about Assassin's Creed games is you really have to look everywhere.
You do.
And
you have to look everywhere. You have to do some of the side quests will give you main parts to the main story. I mean, you just have to do it all. There's no way around it.
Alley Cat Girl says, I think it's the first one. I'm stuck on trying to figure out how I want to play.
Oh, okay. Well, I recommend looking up some of the wiki stuff. because that helped me through a couple of different things when I was doing Black Flag. Like, okay, where are all these keys for the Templar quest? Well, I looked up a couple of locations because I just couldn't find them. It wouldn't show me where they were on the map because it was some sort of glitch. So I went through and I looked, and it would tell me, it wouldn't give me too much detail because I didn't want to go buy a piece of paper that told me how to play the game. I looked for basic info, like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this, and then I went on my own and did it. So my best of advice would be look it up, see what they say, look up a couple of different places, because you're probably going to get mixed answers, and then take it and run with it.
You know what? I had this queued up and ready to go, and I think what I'm going to do is sort of say, so what you like best about streaming? Since you've only been streaming for a month, what has been the best thing for you?
My best thing for me was probably the interaction that I have with the audience, because even when I was working at Ripley's and I was doing my fire shows, or if I was working with my sidekick James, we were busking and we were interaction with people, it wasn't as much the interaction with the people in real life as it is in streaming, because I get to meet all these awesome people like Darkwell, Honda, Alley Cat, Malfasa. I love them all. I've met you awesome guys through it, and it's not just a, oh, that's cool, you know, here's a tip, and they walk off. They're constantly coming back and talking, and we're sharing advice, and we're getting to know each other. It's like having a family. That's not, it's, well, okay, it's a better family than your actual family, because you can ask some sort of people that's not face-to-face some certain things than you can your own. At least in my opinion.
I would say I agree with you. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. That was really just a setup. Okay, gotcha, Mike. No problem. Mike has to step away for a second, and that means he's going to miss what I did. I really asked you that question knowing you would mention the fire shows. So I would like to share a clip from your 26-hour streamathon. Now, this was what, like hour 14, 15, 16?
Oh, something like that. We started at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we ended up, I want to say we did the fire show around 8 or 9, maybe?
Yes.
So it was a good, 12 hours, if not more, into it.
So, kids, don't try
don't
this.
Do this at home.
Don't try
do
this at
not
home.
Do this at home.
Please, for the love of God, she's a trained professional. But I got to share this clip from.
Trained professional.
I mean, everything's relative, right? So.
Well, fair enough.
I'm just gonna share this clip real quick. Hold on one moment.
No worries.
This is Lady Ravenwood breathing goddamn fire on stream.
Woo!
How often do you get to see someone shooting fireballs out of their mouth? This is why you need to follow Lady Ravenwood. Oh,
we try and do something like this. So you want to do something like that more often. I just ended up having the stuff. We thought it was really cool because, Dungeons and Dragons, and then we were doing the Kickstarter for Dice and Danger, and there's a big dragon at the end breathing fire. I thought it'd be pretty cool just to try and combine the two.
I mean, I was impressed.
Yay! Someone was impressed.
I think you couldn't see chat at the time because the computer was up,
right.
Wherever, and you were down on the lawn.
Right.
Chat was going nuts.
I went back and I saw later, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Whoa! No way!" I was glad that they liked it. I didn't know what kind of response I was gonna get from it. My sidekick wasn't sure either, but everybody helped me out, and we made sure that everything ran smoothly. I know there was a little bit of transition before and after, so maybe some people dropped out in that transition, which is fine. But guess what? They missed it. Well,
you had one or two people who left in the transition after, but you actually picked up a lot in the transition during because people were posting in, and you actually picked up one or two in the transition after because that clip, a couple of clips got posted in the Discord, the TeamEmmsie Discord, but the people that had to go, they were like, it's midnight, I gotta get to sleep.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's understandable for sure, but I'm trying to do this a little bit more often. Of course, not every night. That will kill me, quite literally. But I do want to incorporate something like that because some people get bored after watching Twitch and listening to somebody talk for 3 hours about one game, or I would get bored with that eventually, so why not give them something cool to watch?
So, just real quick, just a quick side. Mike, I can't look at Skype messages if you want to message me in Discord. If I,
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
The two things that I was looking forward to in this stream. One of them was that fire breathing video, and I missed it. And the other one is a story that I'm sure you're going to share later.
Why don't you just go ahead and get into it now?
I wanted to watch it. But we want to get into it now? Do you want to
go
talk
ahead.
about it now?
I'm going to find those clips for you, buddy.
What are we talking about?
You want your sidekick stabbing himself.
Oh, Lord have mercy, this story. This is a good story. So, we were working at Ripley's in Myrtle Beach, and by this point in time, we were probably about 3 months into our 3 months straight of no day off. We were working from 9 o'clock in the morning till 2 in the morning, nonstop. So, we were all tired and a little bit delirious, so I give him a little bit of room for that, but still it was stupid. So, I ended up having my day off, and I went with one of my coworkers to the Gate Dolphin Arcade, which is right across the street. We ended up getting about 25,000 tickets because I I rigged all of the games and whatnot. And I also had friends that worked at the arcade. So we went and we ended up having about 25,000 tickets. Well, I am really big into weaponry. I love swords, I love axes, I love maces, I love all of it, guns, all of it. That's me. So I saw this really cool, intricate knife. It had like this dragon design up it. It was really, really cool. And first of all, when you looked at it, it did not look like a letter opener, which is very important later on in the story. So I ended up getting it, and I thought it was really, really cool. So I took it, and James was still working. So I took it back. I'm like, hey, look what I got. This is so cool. You know, I was showing him, and it was really sharp because I ran my finger down the edge of the blade. I was like, okay, this is really cool. Well, he's wearing about 4 layers of clothing, and so is everybody else because we were working at the haunted house. So, you know, it's really hot. It's during the summer. You know, we're a little bit delirious, but that's fine. So he takes it, and he's holding it up against his stomach. He's like, hey, this is really cool. It's just a letter opener. I don't know why you're freaking out. I'm like, James, don't do it. It's not a letter opener. It's not funny. So he ended up pushing it in. He's like, that's funny. It's just a letter opener. And it goes in a little bit. I first of all, I was like, oh my God, what did you do? And he's like, that's fine. It's just a retractable handle. That's pretty cool. Oh, wait. So he pulled out, and he's like, okay, well, that's cool. And he looks down, and his closest shirt is just filled with blood. I'm like, oh my God. So he runs, and he runs to the actor's room, which is the room where, you know, everybody gets dressed. That's pretty much the break room. So he runs in there, and my friend Johnny was with us. He was very, very monotone. I can't do his voice as well as James can. But he was like, well, I think he just stabbed himself, and blah, 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 going on and on and on. I was like, there's no way. He's not that stupid. There's no way he could have done this. So, you know, I walk in the actor's room after he didn't come back for like 5 minutes. I was like, okay, well, maybe something happened. He's just messing with me. He's got to be messing with me. So I walk in there, and everybody's crowded around him. There's like 20 plus people in this tiny room. I was like, okay, so what's going on? And then he's like, well, I'm serious, I stabbed myself. We need to go, and I need to lay down, and we need to fix this. I was like, no, we need to go to the doctor. He would not let me go to the doctor. So what ended up happening, because my fingerprints were on the knife, except he just gave me a nasty look. Because my fingerprints were on the knife, and no one's going to believe he actually stabbed himself. So I'm over here trying to clean him up, and he goes, how deep is it? And he pulls it open, and I pass out on the floor. I go white. So he's over there. Everybody stops paying attention to him, start paying attention to me. So eventually what was had to happen was I had to take him home. We had to stop, and he's like, oh, we'll just get some liquid Band-Aid. That'll cover it up. Liquid Band-Aid ain't gonna cover up a stab wound. So we ended up getting some duct tape. Duct tape didn't work, so we ended up getting some Gorilla Glue. So I had to super glue him shut, and he thought it was funny, and it tickled. So I had to super glue him together, and he kept laughing, which of course kept busting it open. But we eventually got it together, and then later that night, we got a call from our supervisor. He was like, you need to come back down here. You have to be here. I don't care if you stabbed yourself. Get to work. So it turns out that there was this huge fight about this people we left in charge were being rude to customers, fighting, and I mean, it was just a mess. So we had to come back in, deal with all that after he stabbed himself. Like an idiot. I still have the knife somewhere, and it's still got him on it. I just can't bring myself to make that live down, because it was...
My favorite part is, oh, it's just a retractable knife. It's cool. Oh, maybe it's not.
Cool. It's cool. It's just a retractable handle. No, you dumb idiot. He got a good couple of slaps that day.
Does he still have a little scar there?
A little scar? Oh, it's huge. Because the blade was about that thick. Do you know any letter opener that's about that thick?
I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, they're about like that. I was like, oh, you stupid. You're so stupid.
You know, it's amazing how stupid my gender gets to be, and yours just still puts up with us. It's one of the best things about being a guy. We just do stuff, and you still stick around.
Oh, he's like, you won it at an arcade. I didn't know it was real. How about you feel the side of the knife before you stab yourself with it? I mean, damn.
Okay, so here's one thing I don't know about that story. All right, so it's a little unclear. Did he just like jab it into his side, or was he like, look, it's fake, and like how did it? How sharp was it that it went?
His stomach was here, and it was very sharp, very unused. So he takes it, and I'll just use these pliers, which I use to make coils with. So we go to this, and he's like, just pushing it like that, just holding against his clothes, like, ha, 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 I've got 4 layers on, it's not real. Okay, so I could cut paper with it. Like, I held up a piece of paper and went like that. He needs the pliers. But basically, he went like that, and then he's like, ah, ha, ha, and he pushed it in a little bit harder, like, ha, 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 look, it's a retractable handle. Oh, wait, I'm an idiot.
And you can often see Sidekick James if you watch Lady Ravenwood at twitch.tv/lady_Ravenwood, who has been our TeamEmmsie streamer of the week this past week. Which, by the way, how's it been going for you?
It's been going very well. We got a lot of cool people stopping in. We ended up getting from I want to say we had maybe 110 followers, all the way up to 244. Just shot up. And it was awesome. I mean, Darkwell helped out a lot, Honda helped out a lot, Malfasa and Alley Cat, they were all there. They're helping us out, tweeting out all of our stuff. Shiver, he was around, he tweeted out a bunch of stuff for us, and they really helped. I mean, I don't think I could have done it without him.
Oh, James. Oh, Mike.
James. He goes, oh, James, oh, Mike.
Well, because Mike just said something in chat about James, so.
I said, James, here's your sign.
Here's your sign.
Little Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh, it was awesome.
So, all right. I think we've hit most of the big things. Was there anything else, Mike, that you saw on the questionnaire that we didn't hit that you wanted to?
Let me try unmuting. Sorry, I have strawberry fingers now. Yeah, I had to peel the top of a strawberry off for my son. Funny torchbearer story. Did we cover that? The funny torchbearer story?
Well, I don't think we did.
You mentioned torchbearer. I know because I wrote it down.
Right.
But I don't think we heard the funny story about it.
So this memory is just a little bit fuzzy because I did have a couple of glasses of wine that night. But we were playing like normal, and my friend Wolf was with me, and we were living at his apartment at that point in time. We all needed a little bit of help, so we had a weekly gaming night every night on Wednesdays. We'd all come together and play Torchbearer. So it was during maybe the second or third second night that we had done it, and Wolf was what was his class? He was he was basically a wizard, but he just didn't give a damn about anybody. He was basically Gargamel. He named his character Gargamel and did everything as Gargamel. So we were in this dungeon, and we came across a bunch of kobolds. So he and James is in the story as well. So he found this mask, and it looked like this little wooden mask.
Sidekick James is filling her in.
Oh yeah, so I mean that's like most role plays, but it's a big thing in Torchbearer. If your character is angry, if your character is sick or upset, it's a condition. You have to role play as that character, as you're angry, as you're sick, as you're upset, as you're whatever. So James had gotten angry earlier with about something because we had left him behind, and so he had to role play angry, and he was a cleric, which was beautiful. So he found that Wolf ended up finding this tiki mask he described it as a tiki mask. The GM did. So he found the mask. He picked it up. We were not able to figure out what it was for 10, 12 weeks after we were doing it, because this game was a really long game. It's very, very involved, especially the money system. So he found this mask. He tried to figure out if there were any special powers. DM was very, very, very vague. Wouldn't tell him anything. He had to find out on his own because he was a wizard. So he ended up finding out that he had levitation because of this. And there goes James. He ended up finding out he had levitation, and James was role-playing as angry because for some reason, I don't remember the reason. I don't know if he does. He was angry. So... oh, he couldn't open a lock, and then he got angry. He was just screaming everything that happened. So that was a condition, and it made all of us angry. So everybody was screaming at each other. So eventually he just started screaming, and we had to figure out how to get up out of this cave on this huge cliff to keep going further. Well, Wolf had levitation, so what happened was he levitated. He could only go up and down and not sideways. So I held on to Wolf. Wolf went all the way up to the ceiling and went all the way across, pushing his hands on the ceiling so he could go all the way to the other side. Everybody just left James behind because he was just being ridiculously over the top. So he ended up finding this tiki mask, and we eventually found out what it was. I'm not really sure what it was. Because it was a little while ago. So as he was taking everybody else up one by one and rolling them across to the other side, he ended up putting his hand on his forehead like the tiki mask and went like this. Blah, 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 blah. Every time he would pick it up, and it just made James angrier and angrier and angrier. So eventually we just left him behind. And how did you get out of that? I don't remember. Oh yeah, he fought like this horde and this wave of angry kobolds that just came after him because he was all pissing us off. We just left him there, so everybody was like blah, 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 with a tiki mask.
See
and
ya,
just left
bitch.
him behind. It was a lot of fun. I loved Torchbearer. I hate that we never actually got to finish it.
But I mean, in my opinion, and this is gonna again harken back to what I said about Skyrim. Aren't some of the best games the ones that you just enjoy sort of the journey and you don't really have to worry about finishing?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we didn't care that we didn't finish it. I thought it would have been pretty cool to find everybody we were supposed to find and take down the evil or whatever the hell it was. I don't remember. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga was supposed to take down in Spielberg Valley.
It's funny, I'm actually trying to put together a D&D game for a friend right now that's supposed to take place online and not streaming. This is just like in my personal, life.
I think we're trying to figure out a way to stream Dungeons and Dragons, some sort of role play to stream that we can have, Darkwell if he was interested, Allie, whoever who wanted to join in, we could do it. We're just trying to figure out how to do it. Yes, Rev, you can be involved.
I've watched a couple of those D&D streamers, and it seems like a lot of people use Roll20, and that's fine.
Right.
But at the same time, it's a little bit boring, isn't it?
Right.
Like to watch. Like,
right.
As much as I try to watch it, I always feel like...
Because, I've gone on Twitch, and I've tried... Can you stop messing around with the light? We just replaced the light in the fridge, so he's pressing the button and wigging me out. But I think once we figured something out, I want to be able to do that, because I have watched a couple of people on Twitch who tried to do... they were all in one room, and I think if you don't really watch from the start, you're not going to understand it. But I think if we did some sort of quick, cool adventure, one night, knock it out in 2-3 hours for a whole adventure, I think that would be pretty cool. And it would probably get a lot of more people involved in Dungeons and Dragons.
I feel bad. I feel like Mike is just dealing with so much shenanigans there in the background. I apologize Mike is not, we co-host, and Mike, man, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm dominating the conversation here, and I apologize.
No,
for that.
you're fine, man.
I babysit sometimes. Fly me up. I'll babysit for you.
But I got to tell you,
You
I
don't want my kids.
I tried to put together a one-shot campaign for a group of friends, and I thought, okay, this will take 2 hours. Like 4.5 hours later, I'm like, oh my god, they're still fighting the Black Dragon. Like, sometimes
We're still in room 1.
Yeah.
5 hours into it.
Like,
Well,
I only had one combat planned, and yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love Dungeons & Dragons. I think it's a lot of fun, and to get more people involved, especially with like Dice and Danger, to get children involved, that would be so cool. I mean, what kid would have so much fun playing a knight if they love going to a Renaissance festival or this, that, and the other? I mean, I loved it. I went to Renaissance festivals since I was little. I ended up working at one for a little while.
Well, maybe you can have the sidekick put the Kickstarter link in chat for us again. Cause,
Yeah,
absolutely.
hey James, why don't you do that for me? Gracias, please. Thank you. Put the
Yeah.
Kickstarter link in the chat again. Once you're done with your coil changing over there.
I said coil change. My coil crapped out, so I have to change it.
His coil craps out. You jinxed it, Rev.
I change my coils as soon as they start to get gunked up. I get about 2 to 3 weeks on my coils, and then they start to get gunked up. Change them out before they burn out, because there's nothing worse than.
He's had that set of coils for like a year. No, yeah, you've had that one set of coils for a year. We have to obviously we have to change the cotton, but all you gotta do is heat it up, dunk it in some distilled water. Every carbon, any crap that's on it falls right off. See, look.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, and I can do that, and I but you know what? I enjoy building the coils myself, and I feel like if I do it every 2 or 3 weeks, I keep in habit, and Kanthal is dirt cheap.
Oh yeah, Kanthal. We usually use Nichrome.
What's the
I like
advantage of Nichrome over
better.
Kanthal? I don't even know.
Do what?
What's the advantage of Nichrome over Kanthal?
That's a good idea. What is because James, you might know this a little better, but I do. Kanthal advantage over Nichrome. What is it? If there is any.
It's cleaner.
It's cleaner.
Basically the same stuff that stoves are made of. The coils on your stove.
The coils on your stove are basically made out of Nichrome as well. No? Kanthal. Some I didn't know.
Yeah. So this one isn't on the questionnaire, but I'm going to ask this. Someone who is now, I'm sure everyone that's in chat right now has already gone to twitch.tv/lady_Ravenwood and made sure they've tossed you a follow. I know that, so we don't even have to mention that part again. But what should they expect when they tune in and watch you on just an average stream?
Yeah, and when an average stream, what we're doing is we're playing some really cool board games. We found this, the new board game, Judge for Yourself. I mean, it's obviously not new, and it doesn't really have a board, but it's classified as a board game. We found it by accident. We like to have a lot of audience participation, especially when we're playing Cards Against Humanity or Judge for Yourself. We like to have a lot of audience participation. We love it. I love to have people interested and for them to tell me what they want to see so we can do it. So we know we're not boring our viewers. But an average stream is mostly us playing board games, us messing around, us laughing and joking and talking to the audience, throwing out song requests, trolling each other. We always troll each other. What fun is it not to troll each other?
I'll just tell the audience real quick. Obviously, this isn't something you know, but I was streaming. Was it today or yesterday? Whatever. I was streaming, and I was lucky enough to have Lady Ravenwood come by, and she was chatting. And I mentioned DC Comics and Marvel Comics
Well,
or
that
something.
was today. I had to hear about that for hours.
And it was so fantastic that Lady Ravenwood says, "Oh God, don't get my sidekick James started on DC. He'll never shut up. He loves DC."
He didn't shut up.
So, no. I apologize. No. This wasn't the DC thing. This was when we were talking about Tesla.
Oh yes, Tesla.
Tesla. We were talking about Nikolai Tesla, and I go,
Don't get the look.
I go, oh, great, all right, and I was like, oh yeah, I hate Tesla, and then you're like, hold on a second, hang on. And then I just see all in caps, "This is James. What do you mean you hate Tesla?" I'm like, "Tesla sucks. he's horrible, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm sitting there trying to keep a straight face because how often does a streamer get to troll the viewer?
Oh, yeah. We try and troll our people, obviously for fun. I love picking and having fun in our streams, and especially with some of our other friends' streams. I mean, if you don't have some fun, what's the point?
Exactly.
And we love to pick on Rev. He's fun to pick on. Everybody pick on him. Tell him Tesla's great. Tell him.
I love Tesla. That's the thing. I mean, how can you not?
Oh, yeah. DC. Oh, it's better than Marvel. Cough, cough, cough.
Are we gonna? Are we really?
We're not gonna get into that.
Are we really? Okay.
No.
I know Mike and I have had plenty of discussions about DC versus Marvel, and I think Mike's on my side, right? Mike, where do you land on the whole DC Marvel thing?
Yeah, I lean more towards Marvel. I enjoy them both, but I lean more towards Marvel than DC.
So take that, James.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the face. All right, Mike, can you talk to him for just 1 second while I just gotta set one thing up real quick? I apologize.
Sure. What we got?
What we got? I don't know what we got. What do you got?
I don't know. Oh,
Lord.
North Carolina.
Yes.
Talk about North Carolina.
Let's talk about
That's something
this,
we have in
this
common,
place.
right?
Oh Lord, yes.
No, I lived 3 years in North Carolina. I mean, I've been to Myrtle Beach many times. That's obviously south. But when I was stationed in North Carolina, I would go to the House of Blues.
Oh yes,
all the time.
I love the House of Blues.
Oh man, well,
Their
'cause
dinner theater is the best.
well, one of the things that was lacking when I was out in Japan was live music. So
They don't have a lot of live music in Japan, really?
nothing that I listened to.
Oh well, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, Puddle of Mud came out one
Oh,
time
wow. Really?
and did a concert for the troops.
Molly Cotton.
Yeah, that's
Karaoke?
karaoke is everywhere.
Oh Lord.
Everywhere in Japan.
Ooh, no.
But I scored myself a lot of free drinks.
Oh well, good.
Japanese for tone deaf.
Oh, karaoke is Japanese for tone deaf, apparently.
Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows?
Very possible.
Very possible. Definitely.
I think we got.
But
I
I
got
love
sidetracked.
North Carolina. I mean, I love the state. The weather is horrendous.
Now here's the one thing I did notice in North Carolina. Every once in a while it does snow
Oh yeah,
in
it
North
does.
Carolina. Not
But then
often, but every
Then
once in a
the
while
same
it'll snow.
day, It's 80 degrees.
Right. My issue is that snow in North Carolina is a light dusting,
Oh yes, the entire
and
state.
everybody
will
loses
shut
their
down.
motherfucking minds.
Oh yeah, everybody
lose
has
their
to get
fucking
bread,
minds.
milk, and eggs.
Yep.
You have to get that weeks in advance.
Oh
If
yeah,
your
and
year's gonna snow,
nobody can fucking
it's
drive.
too late. Oh yeah, and my sidekick James is from upstate New York, so he wigged out. He was like, "Why are there no bread, milk, and eggs? I don't understand. Oh y'all, all crazy freaking Southerners."
Yeah, I'm from Boston, so I saw that and I was like, "Oh, snow, okay." And dude, no shit, my staff sergeant is sitting there. Don't you dare drive.
Oh yeah, they're
I
like,
can
"Don't
still see
drive."
road. What do you
Yeah,
mean,
don't
don't
drive,
drive?
though. If you spill a cup of ice, the entire state shuts down.
Like what
It's ridiculous.
Look, you better not drive. I said, Staff Sergeant, I've been driving Massachusetts weather, okay, in the winter. I can still see road. I'm driving.
Mhm.
I don't care.
I've been to the Pacific Coast. I've been all the way down to the tip of Florida. I have never been north, ever. The farthest north I've gone was Richmond, Virginia.
See, I gotta tell you, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, where we have a term that everybody in the city knows from the age of about 4 years old and up. It's called lake effect snow. I don't know if you know what that means,
I
but
think isn't that where like ice is over and you still have to go to work?
no. So Buffalo is right on the western edge of Lake Erie, one of the great.
Shut up.
One of the Great Lakes. And what happens is the wind comes blowing in from the west, and it picks up all the moisture that's coming up off of the lake the whole time it's blowing across. And then as soon as it hits land, that cold air turns all that moisture in the air into snow. So we get a lot of snow. And there were plenty of days when I'd be walking to school in hip deep snow and be like, yeah, it's time for school, whatever. Like,
What?
it's so
No.
what? It's only 3 feet. The roads are plowed. So what?
Oh yeah.
No. If I
Yeah.
can go out, no, I didn't think you were making it up. But if
No,
I
no.
open my door and I can't walk out freely, no. No.
You
No,
just-
there was one day this year, because I live in Maine now. There was one day this year where I had to walk to my kid's school. I couldn't see over the snowbanks. Couldn't see a damn thing over the snowbanks. Like, literally, and I'm 6'2", okay? So you're talking, like, at least 7 feet of snow
Thank you.
just piled up
Thank you.
with a little sidewalk in between. You know, you can't see shit.
Nope. No.
So
I lost my dog one time when I was smaller. I mean, it snowed 18 inches. That was the most snow I ever saw. And when my dog jumped off the porch and disappeared. Couldn't find her. She eventually just started making tunnels under the snow, and I found her. But she was a pure white dog in the snow.
we've had blizzards in Buffalo where they say we're expecting 12 to 18 inches over the next 2 hours.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's
So
I
ridiculous.
remember in '96 we had the blizzard of '96. Man, that was
He's
ridiculous.
over here like, yeah.
Yeah, blizzard of '96. We drove. We couldn't use the bridge, but you still needed to get into Boston to go to work. So you drove over the river. No shit. Drove right over the river.
No.
They
No.
redirected traffic over the river. Yeah.
No. You just don't do that. That's how you get killed.
oh, I live in the Finger Lakes now, and every
Drive
winter
right over
there's
the harbor.
there's dozens and dozens of people all over the lake all winter long ice fishing. Oh yeah, people will drive their trucks right onto the lake.
Oh yeah. And you see they park little huts. Yep.
It's
Right
funny.
over holes in the.
See,
in
we
the
don't
lake.
go ice fishing in the South. We go mudding. And that is more fun than
That
sitting
is one
and
thing I could not get
drinking on
in
the ice.
being down in the South. I never understood mudding. Why am I going to go buy a truck to purposely ruin it?
Because you buy a Jeep.
Well, I live in a farmland area now, and so mudding is a thing up here too. It's just
Oh, yeah.
not all year round.
Oh yeah, we do it all year round. It don't matter if it's raining. It don't matter if it's snowing. We go mudding, and it is so much fun.
Not my thing
No,
personally.
that just seems like way too much money wasted.
Oh, not at all. I loved it.
It
and
is
I went with
it
my
sounds like a
friend's truck.
very expensive hobby.
It is a very
insane.
expensive hobby, but guess what? It's fun.
Can't do it.
See, I lived on a farm. We lived on a chicken farm, so we had 100,000 chickens minimum, and we had cows and pigs and horses and dogs and everything. So we would go out and we'd go into the pastures, and the cows would have fun with us.
See, I say it's a really expensive hobby as I'm talking onto my $3,500 PC.
$3,500 is still cheaper than a nice truck.
Talking to friends we made on the interwebs because of TeamEmmsie.
Mhm.
Whoop whoop! Oh, please tell me you picked up the whoop whoop now. Are you doing that? Are you, did that catch on?
I've been doing that for a while,
Oh,
but
okay.
I stopped. But
Yes.
now that you did it, I'm like, woo!
See, it started as a joke on my stream. Everyone was talking about how ghetto I am, which that was a joke, obviously. And I was like, yeah, I'm so ghetto. And then someone followed me and was like, big ups. And then it just became a thing. And then you're gonna have one. You laugh. You're gonna have one. Maybe it'll take another month. maybe
Rocket
another
Rage
6 months.
hitting with the whoop whoop.
But you're gonna get there. You're gonna all of a sudden you're gonna be like, every time anyone does a donation, I have to do I have to twirl my arms, or every time someone does a host, I have to do this dance because it
I'll just
becomes
start
a
so
thing.
every time somebody gives me a donation, I'll just blow a flame.
Oof. Well, hold on, I gotta go load up my PayPal account because I know what I'm doing with my next paycheck. Oh, Rev's donated $1. Oh, okay.
Ah. It'll be fun. It'll be great.
Well, speaking of everything being fun and everything being great, one of my least favorite parts of the podcast. We are just about out of time.
Aw.
Is there anything you want to talk about, or anything we didn't mention or go over?
I do not think so. Other than, no, that's pretty much it. I mean, my life is my dog and streaming.
Do you want to bring your sidekick on to say a quick hello?
Sure, James, come say a quick hello. Just poke your head in here and say hello.
There we go. Now all 3 cams have had bearded men on them, so
Oh, perfect.
there's parity in the universe.
It's something about beards. I don't know.
Yeah. So Mike, I've got the
I
next
won't
stream
have
of the
this
week
beard.
ready.
I won't have this beard for much longer.
No, you're gonna be shaving.
I found a place that does straight razor shaves for pretty cheap right near me. So I'm gonna have to do it. Gotta
Do it.
straight razor shave. There's nothing like a straight razor shave.
There's
My-
Oh my god.
My barber does them too, but I always
Ooh,
tell. I
James
always tell
just
him.
chimed in. He goes, ooh.
Yeah.
A true
Pretty
gentleman
cheap.
knows the value of a good straight razor shave. Mike, I've got the graphic ready to go if you want to announce the next streamer of the week. So, unfortunately, Lady Ravenwood, this brings to a close your time as the TeamEmmsie streamer of the week, but it will not bring to a close the love in our hearts we've had for you, and thank you
Aw,
for
yay.
being our streamer of the week. And Mike, do you want to go ahead and announce it?
No, because I have no idea who it is.
Oh, all right. Well,
my
everyone-
Discord's been acting up all day, so.
I understand. I am proud to announce that the TeamEmmsie Streamer of the Week, starting now and going until this time next Friday, is our very own, and he's in chat, Felix Hergood. So everyone, hey, Felix Hergood, TeamEmmsie Streamer of the
Get some
Week.
hype in the chat.
TeamEmmsie, Felix Hergood, whoop whoop. Yeah. So everyone's
So
gonna
maybe,
make sure.
so maybe I do have to keep the beard until at least the next podcast, right? I mean,
Oh, for the beard lulls, right? The memes.
yes,
Maybe.
I got to. If Felix are good.
Yeah, good point. I didn't even think about that. Well, that does unfortunately bring us to a close. Everyone, if you haven't already, let me just put this in chat one more time. If you have not gone and tossed Lady Ravenwood a follow, I cannot recommend highly enough that you do. Massively, massively entertaining streamer. Something different than just people playing PUBG, like me. Board games, fire breathing. I mean, come on. It's a no-brainer. Make sure you toss her a follow.
We're gonna try to see if I can get James to break his way out of a straitjacket in under 2 minutes, because we're both carnies. That's what we do.
I figured that out, I think, within the first half hour. I'm like, are you guys carnies? And you're like, yep. I'm like,
Yeah.
I kind of figured that. And make sure you also talk Felix Hergood, our next TeamEmmsie streamer of the week. So for our guest, Lady Ravenwood, my co-host, Mike, who is at twitch.tv, Sir Mike Knight, and myself, Rev, who you can find at twitch.tv, Dos Rev. We wish all of you a great night. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you all real soon. Bye!